My name is Riley, and I'm 28 years old now, working remotely from a cozy loft in Portland, Oregon, where the rain taps on the windows like it's trying to wash away old mistakes. But back in 2024, I was still in Denver, still the chill younger sister who never rocked the boat. That all ended at my sister Brooke's extravagant engagement party in a rooftop venue overlooking the Rocky Mountains. Fairy lights strung everywhere, champagne flowing, 120 guests in cocktail attire snapping photos for Instagram. During the toasts, Brooke took the mic, her diamond ring catching the light like a weapon, and said with a laugh that echoed off the skyline, "I just have to shout out my little sister Riley. She's the reason this night is even possible." She lent me that huge chunk of cash for my startup side hustle last year. Never asked for a dime back. Guess some people are just wired to be the supportive one while the rest of us shine. The crowd chuckled, phones raised to capture the sweet moment. But her words weren't sweet. They were a deliberate twist, turning my $35,000 loan, that she begged for when her freelance graphic design gig was tanking, into a pity story about how pathetic and selfless I was. Eyes turned to me with that mix of amusement and sympathy. My stomach dropped, but I didn't flinch. I raised my glass, gave a small nod, said, "To love and family," and slipped out to the terrace, the cold mountain air hitting my face as I gripped the railing, heart pounding with a fury so controlled it felt like ice. Brooke and I grew up in a suburban house outside Denver. Same school district, same holiday traditions, same parents who always praised her creativity and charisma while calling me practical like it was a compliment. She was the artist, the social butterfly, landing modeling gigs in college and building a personal brand online. I was the one who studied business analytics, got a steady corporate job, saved aggressively. When Brooke decided to pivot to launching her own digital art print shop in 2023, she showed up at my apartment one night in tears. My credit's trashed from student loans and bad decisions. I need $35,000 to buy the printer, stock inventory, and cover marketing. It's a sure thing. I'll pay you back in full once sales kick in. Promise." She hugged me, called me her hero. I had the money from years of overtime and smart investing. I Venmo'd it over in chunks, no formal IOU, but I have every transaction screenshot. Her voice memos thanking me, texts saying, "You're saving my dream, sis." Her shop blew up, Etsy bestseller, collabs with influencers, a viral TikTok series. She quit her day job, moved into a trendy downtown loft, started dating a fitness influencer. Posts everywhere, from broke to boss babe, manifestation works. She never mentioned the loan. Instead, the subtle shade started. Family dinners. Riley's still in her 9-to-5 grind, adorable. Group chats, memes about responsible sisters with my face edited in. When I got a big promotion and bought my first condo, she joked to cousins that I was too boring to spend it. When my boyfriend proposed, and I said no because it didn't feel right, she told aunts I was afraid of commitment. I let it roll off. Sisters fight, right? Family forgives. The engagement party was meant to celebrate her and her fiancé, Jake. The whole family flew in, parents from Denver, cousins from Seattle, even our grandma from Phoenix. Brooke looked radiant in a sequined dress, toasting her journey. Then she grabbed the mic during open toasts, unscripted but clearly planned. She spun the loan as me gifting it out of desperation for her success, implying I was clinging to her glow-up. Laughter spread. Mom averted her eyes. Dad smiled awkwardly. A cousin filmed it for stories. The humiliation burned, not just the words, but how she made my generosity her punchline in front of everyone, turning me into the sad, supporting character in her highlight reel. I stood there a second, then calmly excused myself to the terrace. The city lights glittered below. No public meltdown. No tears for the crowd. When Mom finally followed me out, she whispered, "Honey, Brooke's just excited. Weddings amp everything up. Don't take it personally. Family sticks together." Dad texted later, "Let it slide, kiddo. Don't let one comment ruin the vibe. Even Jake messaged the family group. Brooke's passionate. Forgive her LOL. The manipulation felt automatic, but I wasn't sliding. I was cataloging. That $35,000? Bank records labeled Loan to Brooke Business. Her thank you chain in iMessage. And the kicker. 6 months ago, when her shop had a shipping crisis and lost inventory, she'd asked for another $8,000. Emergency top-up. I sent it via Zelle. No repayment. I had proof. On the drive back to my hotel that night, the mountains dark and silent. My phone buzzed with clips of her speech in family chats, laughing reactions. I didn't respond. I opened my notes app, started listing dates, amounts, interest at Colorado's legal rate for oral loans. No outburst, no revenge post, just quiet collection of facts, leverage that had been there all along. The patient fire had ignited. The days after the engagement party blurred into a strange kind of normal. I flew back to Denver, unpacked my suitcase, and went straight back to work. Emails, client calls, spreadsheets, like nothing had happened. But something had. The clips of Brooke's speech kept circulating in the family group chat. Someone had posted the full video to a private Facebook album titled Brooke and Jake's Magical Night. Comments rolled in. So wholesome. Riley's such a good sister. Brooke's killing it. With heart eyes emojis. I read them all without replying. Then I muted the chat. I didn't confront anyone. Not yet. Instead, I started small, invisible actions that felt like breathing again. First, I logged into my banking app and exported every transaction related to Brooke. $35,000 in 3 Venmo transfers labeled Boutique Startup Loan. The $8,000 Zelle for emergency inventory 6 months later. I saved her voice notes. You literally saved my business. I owe you big time. I screenshotted texts. Pay you back first thing when the next drop sells out. Promise. I even found an old email where she'd CC'd me on a supplier invoice and written, "Thanks again for fronting this. You're the best investor ever." I wasn't emotional about it anymore. I was methodical, like auditing a client account. I calculated simple interest using Colorado's legal rate for oral contracts, 8% per year. The total came to just over $47,200 with accrued interest over 18 months. Not outrageous. Fair. Enforceable in small claims court if it came to that. Colorado's limit is $7,500 per claim, so I could split it if needed, but I hoped it wouldn't. The family pressure started almost immediately. Mom called on Monday morning. "Riley, honey, Brooke feels awful. She was just trying to be funny and give you credit. Don't hold it against her. She's stressed with wedding planning." I said, "I know, Mom," and changed the subject to her garden. Dad texted that evening. "Let it go, kid. Weddings make people emotional. You're the bigger person here." Jake even sent a private message. "Hey, Rye, Brooke's been crying about it. She didn't mean to embarrass you. Family first, right?" I replied with a thumbs up emoji. Nothing more. Brooke herself waited 3 days before texting. "Hey, sis. Sorry if the toast came off wrong. I was trying to hype you up. Love you." I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back, "No worries. Congrats again on the engagement." Short, neutral. She sent back 3 heart emojis and a selfie of her ring. I didn't respond. I kept my routine tight. Work, gym, meal prep, sleep. But in the evenings I researched. Colorado small claims process. File online, $31 fee, no lawyer needed. Statute of limitations for oral loans, 6 years. I printed forms, filled them out with placeholders, names, amounts, dates. I didn't file. Not yet. I just had them ready, like insurance. Months passed. Brooke's wedding planning ramped up. Save the dates, venue deposits, dress fittings. She invited me to be a bridesmaid. "It wouldn't be the same without you." she said on a Zoom call with the whole bridal party. I smiled on camera. I'd love to. Inside, I noted the date of her bachelorette weekend in Vegas. 6 months away. Plenty of time. Then the first crack appeared. Brooke's shop hit turbulence. A viral TikTok backlash over delayed shipping, bad reviews piling up, refunds eating into profits. She posted a vague, tough month, but we bounced back story. Privately, she texted me late one night. Rye, things are tight. Any chance you could spot me another $10,000 to cover payroll? Just until the holiday rush. I'll pay everything back together, promise. She added the crying emoji. I let the message sit unread for a full day. Then I replied, I can't right now. Sorry. No explanation, no lecture, just no. She called immediately, voice shaky. Riley, please, I'm drowning. You know I'm good for it. You've always helped. I listened quietly. Then I said, I helped before. Twice. You haven't paid any of it back. Silence on her end. That was different. Business was booming then. I replied evenly. It was a loan both times, not a gift. We should probably talk about settling that first. She laughed nervously. Come on, sis. Don't be like that. We're family. I said, exactly. Family keeps their word. Then I hung up. The next week, she posted a glamorous behind-the-scenes reel of her picking out wedding flowers. Caption, grateful for my support system. I didn't like it, but I saved the screenshot. Another piece. I flew to Denver for Thanksgiving. The family gathered at Mom and Dad's house. Turkey, football, the usual. Brooke hugged me tight in the kitchen, whispering, We're good, right? I hugged back. We're family. She smiled, relieved. I smiled too. But while everyone was watching football, I quietly emailed myself a fresh copy of the small claims forms, updated with the latest non-payment dates. The leverage was growing, the silence was working, and the clock was ticking toward her wedding. The silence stretched longer than I expected. After that late-night call where I said no to the $10,000, Brooke didn't text or call for almost 3 weeks. The family group chat stayed oddly quiet too. No memes, no wedding updates from her. Then, right before Christmas, she posted a glossy carousel on Instagram. Engagement photos in the snow, her beaming in a red coat, Jake kissing her cheek. Caption, counting down to forever, grateful for my people. She tagged the whole family. I liked the post, nothing else. Christmas at Mom and Dad's house in Denver was tense in a way no one acknowledged. Brooke arrived late, makeup perfect, smiling wide. She hugged me in the foyer like nothing had happened. Missed you, Rye, she whispered. I hugged back. Missed you too. We ate turkey, opened gifts, watched old home videos. When it was my turn to hand out presents, I gave her a small box, custom engraved keychain that said, Boss Babe, something neutral I'd ordered months earlier. She squealed, hugged me again. Everyone cooed. Under the surface, though, I felt the shift. She kept glancing at me when she thought I wasn't looking. New Year's came and went. In January, her boutique announced a winter clearance sale. Deep discounts, final few pieces warnings. Sales were slow. Then in February, she texted me again. Single message, no emojis this time. Hey Rye, can we talk? Privately. Coffee when you're free? I waited 2 days. Then, sure. Next Saturday at 11? The spot on 17th. We met at a quiet cafe near Lodo. She looked tired. Dark circles, hair in a messy bun instead of her usual blowout. No ring flash for photos. She ordered black coffee. I got tea. After small talk about the weather and Jake's new gym sponsorship, she got to it. I know I messed up, she said, staring at her cup. The engagement party. I was showing off. I wanted everyone to see how far I'd come, and I threw you under the bus to make it look like I did it all myself. That was shitty. I'm sorry. I nodded slowly. Thank you for saying that. She exhaled. And the money? I know I owe you. A lot. I kept thinking I'd pay it back soon, but then things kept happening. Returns, ad costs, the shipping drama. I panicked. I should have talked to you instead of pretending it wasn't a thing. I stayed quiet, letting her fill the space. I can start paying now, she continued. $1,000 a month? Or whatever you want. I can't do it all at once right now. The shop's barely breaking even. I took a slow sip of tea. I appreciate the apology, Brooke. And the offer. But let's make it official. I've calculated the total with interest. $47,200. We can do a repayment plan, but it needs to be in writing. Promissory note. Notarized clear schedule. $1,500 a month starting next month. If you miss one, we go to small claims. No more verbal promises. Her eyes widened. Small claims? Rai, come on. We're sisters. We are, I said evenly. That's why I'm giving you terms instead of filing right away. You humiliated me publicly. You used my help to build your image, then made me look small. Now we fix it properly. She looked down. Tears welled up. I didn't think it hurt you that bad. I thought you were fine with it. You're always so calm. I'm calm because I choose to be, I replied. Not because it didn't hurt. Long silence. Then she nodded. Okay, I'll sign whatever. Just don't tell Mom and Dad yet. They'll freak. I won't tell them unless you stop paying, I said. This stays between us, for now. We left the cafe. She hugged me goodbye, longer than usual. I hugged back. No warmth, but no ice either. 2 weeks later, we met at a notary public downtown. She signed the promissory note. $47,200 principal plus interest. $1,500 monthly starting March 1st. Auto debit from her business account. I gave her a copy. She looked smaller somehow. Thank you for not making this public, she whispered. I didn't reply. I just nodded. The first payment hit on time. Then the second. The family didn't know yet. Wedding planning continued full speed. Brooke posted venue tours, cake tastings, bridesmaid dress fittings. She invited me to every group call, every vendor meeting. I showed up on Zoom, smiled, gave opinions on colors and flowers. Mom kept saying, "See, everything's fine between you two." But Brooke knew. Every time our eyes met on camera, there was a flicker, acknowledgement, maybe even respect. She stopped the subtle digs. No more Riley's so practical jokes. When someone brought up my condo purchase, she said, "Ree's killing it. Smart investments pay off." In April, the boutique posted a restructure announcement. Smaller drops. Focus on core customers. Reviews improved. Payments continued. Then, in May, 3 months before the wedding, Jake's fitness brand got a big sponsorship deal. Brooke texted me privately, "We're ahead. Can I pay an extra $2,000 this month?" I said yes. The balance dropped faster. The power had shifted. Not with a fight. Not with tears in front of the family. With paper, consistency, and calm consequences. Brooke was still getting married in August. I was still a bridesmaid. But the story wasn't hers alone anymore. The wedding arrived in August like a storm everyone pretended was just sunshine. The venue was a stunning mountain resort outside Boulder. Wildflowers everywhere, wooden beams, a view of the Rockies that made you feel small in the best way. Brooke looked breathtaking in her off-the-shoulder gown, Jake handsome in his navy suit. I wore the blush bridesmaid dress she'd chosen, smiled in every photo, helped fix her veil, toasted with the other girls at the bachelorette brunch the day before. To the 200 guests, we were the perfect sisters, close, supportive, unbreakable. During the ceremony, I stood beside her as she said her vows, voice steady and full of love. When the officiant asked if anyone objected, The room laughed lightly. I stayed silent, of course. My objection had already been filed in a notary's office months earlier. The reception was magical. String quartet, farm-to-table dinner, a dance floor under the stars. During the sibling toast, Brooke handed me the mic first. The room quieted. I could feel the weight of every eye, especially hers. She looked nervous for the first time in years. I spoke slowly, clearly. Brooke, growing up, you were always the one who lit up every room. You dreamed big, chased hard, and never let anyone tell you no. I've always admired that fire in you. Today, watching you marry Jake, I see that same fire, committed, bright, unbreakable. I'm proud to be your sister, and I'm grateful we've found our way to a place where we can both shine without one dimming the other. To Brooke and Jake, may your life together be full of honesty, respect, and the kind of love that lifts everyone around you. Cheers. The room erupted in applause. Brooke's eyes glistened. She pulled me into a hug that lasted longer than any we'd shared in years. "Thank you, Ree," she whispered against my ear. "I mean it." No one else knew the subtext. No dramatic reveal. Just words chosen carefully, carrying the weight only we understood. The payments continued after the honeymoon. $1,500 every month, auto debit, no excuses. By December, the balance was under $20,000. Brooke's boutique stabilized, smaller but profitable, better reviews, loyal customers. She started a sideline of custom wedding prints that took off quietly. She never asked for another loan. Ever. In February of the following year, she texted me a single screenshot, her bank app showing the final payment cleared. Balance, $0. Followed by one message. "It's done. Thank you for giving me the chance to make it right. I love you, sis. For real this time." I replied, "Love you too. Proud of you." We didn't hug it out in person right away. We didn't need to. The next family gathering, Easter at Mom and Dad's, was the first time things felt normal. Not fake, normal. Real. Brooke brought homemade desserts instead of ordering everything. She asked about my work, listened without interrupting. When Mom started the old "Riley's so practical" line, Brooke cut in gently. "She's smart. That's different. And it's why we're all still standing." Mom blinked. Dad smiled quietly. The conversation moved on. Today, at 30, I live in that same Portland loft, rain still tapping the windows. My consulting business has grown. 2 full-time clients, a small team, enough freedom to travel when I want. Brooke and I text regularly, memes, life updates, photos of her garden. She started one last spring. We visit each other a few times a year. No more loans, no more shade. Just 2 adults who finally learned what family can look like when both sides show up. The revenge wasn't in the money coming back, though that felt good. It wasn't in the apology or the notarized paper, though those were necessary. The real justice was quieter. I stopped carrying the role of the invisible supporter. I stopped letting my kindness be rewritten as weakness. I set terms, enforced them calmly, and in doing so, gave us both the chance to rebuild something honest. If there's a lesson here, it's this. Betrayal doesn't always need fireworks to be answered. Sometimes the most powerful response is steady, documented, unemotional follow-through. You don't have to destroy someone to reclaim your worth. You just have to stop protecting theirs at the expense of your own. Peace came not with a bang, but with a zero balance notification and a quiet thank you that finally meant something. And that, for me, was enough.